As a man, you have to be entitled as with women. And let me show you the biggest difference between guys who constantly struggle with women versus guys who get treated differently from day one. Most guys are out here settling, analyzing texts from girls who barely reply, making excuses for flaky behavior, and accepting breadcrumbs of attention, all while trying to figure out how to not mess up their chances with those same women who don't even like them to start with. But at the same time, there's a small percentage of men out there who understand the game and women treat them completely differently. These guys don't wonder where they stand with women in tests and games and all this stuff just bounces off them like it's nothing. And it's not because of looks or money like you might think. It's because they move through life with a mindset that 99% of men will never understand. So let's talk a bit more about what that mindset is, because this one shift changes everything about how women respond to you, and without it, you'll just keep wasting your time on women who don't actually like you. And something I see all the time is guys putting the blinders on and developing this tunnel vision for the woman or women that they want. Guys will get caught in this mode where they're like a heat-seeking missile in a way. They're just locked on target and they hone in just trying to reach the end goal of getting this girl or keeping her around. This is even worse if you're a guy that's been in scarcity for a while, or you're seeing inconsistent results to where it feels like you're a thirsty man in the desert who finds a little bit of water for a short time only to run out again and be back where you started. When you're in scarcity or you're operating from a stance to where you really want the end result, you're naturally going to tunnel vision on certain girls and then also be impacted and let down when things don't pan out. And this type of perspective leads to guys accepting women who are combative, showing low interest, trying to lead the relationship, or just flat out not giving them what they actually want. And they stick around anyway because they don't believe they can do better, or more importantly, that they deserve better. And that idea of deserving better is what I want to focus on for this video, because once you truly internalize this mindset shift, it's a complete game changer, and most guys around you will never truly understand and grasp what I'm about to tell you. Because the truth is that if you don't move through the dating process with a stronger sense of entitlement to you, you're just going to get crushed. If you don't carry yourself with that sense of entitlement of not only what you want, but what you deserve, you're going to move with an aura of low confidence, self-doubt, and settling for straight up awful situations with women that you should have never accepted in the first place. And I see this on a daily basis. Guys in pursuit of women who are simply not on the same page as them, and they stick around trying to make it work or trying to attract the girl anyway. And that mindset, and the scarcity mindset in general, stems from a place of not truly believing that you can do better and that you actually deserve better. You absolutely cannot settle for these low interest women that give you breadcrumbs or wishy-washy answers like, "Oh, I think I might be available next Saturday. Let me see, I'm not sure yet." Or flat, dead, drawn out responses when you're trying to move things forward with a girl. There are all kinds of specific scenarios that this applies to and that are unacceptable, so it's more about the overarching concept rather than the specifics. The point is that the moment you accept that kind of treatment, you're communicating to yourself and every woman that you meet that this is what you're worth. And therefore, you get treated with the same level of worth that you're projecting. You can't position yourself as lower value and then expect to be treated as higher value. You're just going to get back exactly what you put out there. And it's true for every area of life, but especially in dating and relationships. The frame you set is the frame that women and people in general will assume when looking at you. If you move like the type of guy that will just keep trying and doing anything to get the girl, or you'll accept suboptimal situations, that is exactly what you're going to receive. What's going to happen is you're going to keep getting flaky girls who make you drive an hour to come see them, girls who string you along and then ghost you once they're bored of you, and women who use you for your attention but never give you anything in return. And you'll definitely have a subpar garbage sex life if you even have one at all. Instead, you need to move with this energy that you deserve top flight treatment from women. I'm talking about walking through life like you're a giant, like you're 8 feet tall, and you walk in the room just shaking your head at these relationships around you that have a horrible dynamic where the man hates his life because he didn't understand what I'm telling you now, and he chose to put himself in a bad situation with a woman who wasn't right for him. But again, this isn't about being delusional. If you're 300 pounds living in your mom's basement, this isn't about suddenly acting entitled. When I say having an entitled mindset, what I mean is understanding your own value, your self-worth, and the time and effort that you've put into making yourself the best man that you can be. And understanding that if you're genuinely a quality guy, you should only allow the qualified women through the gates. So if you're lazy, you don't put in the work, and you don't actually have any tangible value outside of just thinking that you should be special for the sake of existing, then this doesn't apply to you. Having an entitled mindset in that situation is just going to further push you into delusion. But here's where it gets interesting. When you move with a genuine sense of entitlement, It automatically puts you in a mode of projecting confidence and speaking with conviction. It's not something that you have to fake. It becomes natural and a part of who you are because you truly realize and believe in your value as a man. And this is a big blind spot for a lot of guys. They have low self-worth, even if they put a lot of work into themselves, and they are blind to their own value that they actually bring. So then they carry themselves like a much lower value man than they actually are and get confused when they continue to spin their wheels. But something else I want to mention about this entitled mindset is that you will notice that you become naturally immune to girls playing games. You become this walking filter of sorts that automatically repels the wrong types of women. And when women try to pull some goofiness on you, it's like firing arrows at a tank. You just aren't moved because, again, you're so rooted in recognizing your own value that you don't waste time on situations that don't fit what you're looking for. So if the girl isn't willing to get on your program, you simply move on because you know there's more and better options that will be into you. Entitled men just don't tolerate bullshit. When a girl tries to play games, you're not sitting there trying to figure out the perfect response. You're simply thinking, I don't have time for this, and you move on to other options. And this is also where the magic happens. You kill all desperation because you won't just accept anything. You naturally project that you have standards and you aren't easy to obtain. And guess what? Women start valuing their time with you more because we as humans never value what's easy to get. And a woman can sense when a guy moves with a different energy compared to the average guy. It's palpable, and the women who are truly interested in you will respect that. This entitled mindset also creates something I call the effort paradox. The less desperate you are for results, the better results that you actually get. And when you truly believe that you deserve the best, the women that are attracted to you naturally put in more effort because they sense that you're different. Now, something else you'll notice if you really embody this sense of entitlement is that other men won't understand you at all. Most guys out there are operating from such scarcity that they'll take anything as long as it's a female that gives them the time of day. These guys will be absolutely stunned when they see you rejecting a girl they view as their dream girl. They can't comprehend why you'd walk away from what they see as a golden opportunity. They can't possibly understand how you're able to see past the beauty in the sex to not accept a subpar situation for yourself. This type of thing just doesn't compute at all with the average guy, because the average man just accepts any breadcrumbs that he can get. Think about it. How many guys do you know would actually reject a pretty girl engaging with them? Almost none. But that's exactly why this mindset is so powerful. It immediately sets you apart from every other guy because women sniff out that desperation quickly. But here's another thing about that social paradox. While average guys might think you're crazy, the women who have interest in you will be magnetically drawn to this type of behavior. Why is that? Well, it's because they're used to men putting them on a pedestal in a thirsty and weak way. And when they meet a guy who genuinely believes that he's got real value, it positions you in a polarizing way to where there's only two options. Option one is that they'll respect you and follow your lead, or option two is that they'll leave. And that's exactly what you want. You don't want to make the same mistake as a lot of these guys out there and wife up a girl who's got a cute face but is a nightmare to deal with. And I bring this up because I've had conversations with guys where they'll say things like, it's just so frustrating to see all these couples around me and I can't get anything. But honing in on other people's relationships will always be a losing mindset because you don't know the actual dynamic of that relationship. I've personally known a few guys I can think about who had a hot wife but a dead sex life. Zero going on in the bedroom. But you would look at their situation and think that they were living the dream because of what it looked like on the outside. But what happened is that these guys settled for less because they didn't move with a sense of entitlement that could recognize that this isn't the best they could do and that they were positioning themselves in a situation that wasn't actually right for them. The sense of entitlement I'm talking about is having genuine standards that you won't compromise on and a sense of pride to where you guard yourself like valuable treasure because of the work that you put in. It's about knowing your worth and being willing to say, nah, I'm good. When a woman treats you in a way that just doesn't align with your self-worth and your value, no matter how good she looks or whatever else you may like about her. The reality is that most guys are out there just taking whatever they can get, and then they wonder why they're stuck in unfulfilling relationships or interactions with women who don't really respect them, and the sex is trash or not there at all. But when you move with a certain entitlement, you naturally screen for women who are actually worth your time. And the low-quality, low-investment women filter themselves out because they can sense that you won't tolerate their games, and you develop a sense of love for yourself to where you understand that you really are that guy. So here's what I want you to understand. Developing this entitled mindset isn't optional if you want real success with women. It's absolutely necessary because without it, you'll always default to settling for whatever attention you can get because you'll feel like it's better than nothing. Instead, you have to put in the work, recognize that work, and move through life like you're entitled to the best because you are actively making yourself the best man that you can be while still staying grounded in reality working on yourself and understanding where your own SMV is at. And I'm telling you, a lot of the in-between stuff, like how to handle a test or a girl's games or how to respond to a text, starts to go out the window because you genuinely believe that you deserve the best and you don't have time for the garbage. So you're fine being patient for a better situation to come across your path rather than accepting scraps from any woman who will just give you the time of day. Now, developing this entitled mindset becomes much easier when you actually have real tangible options with women. So if you're ready to build both the mindset and the practical skills to consistently land dates with women and actually have the dating life that you want, then click the first link in the description and fill out a quick application to work with me directly so we can work together and fast track this entire process. And with that said, I will see you in the next one.